Hi. Welcome to Live with Ms. Steph, folks. We are here out and about. I actually happen to be walking past Morningside Park right now. Hi, it's me, Stephanie E. Farmer, founder and executive director of Triple F Empowerment, Inc. I am doing a bit of a walk and chat. As you can see, the reason I'm doing walk and chat is because I have committed to going either live or uploading a video every day in May, right? On Instagram. Last month in April, we were over on YouTube every day doing a video and offering you content and making sure that you had information. So welcome to Live with Ms. Steph. So yeah, I am going live in May, communicating how your support benefits what we do. For those of you who do not know, Triple F Empowerment Inc. is a 501c3 organization, meaning we are a charitable organization, and you can make a tax-deductible donation to us, okay? And so what that means is, of course, we need to make it super clear to you not only what we're doing, like with the dollars, and how that then impacts the community, specifically the Harlem community, because we are based in Harlem. So let's continue the conversation. Hello. Thank you for watching Live with Ms. Steph. Let's continue the conversation that I started yesterday over on YouTube, the video that was released yesterday, and a bit of the conversation that I was having with you all yesterday afternoon when I was at Thurgood Marshall Lower Academy. I was talking to you about how supporting the traveling science teacher is super important. And so I actually just came from, that's why I'm out and about talking and chatting and walking and chatting, right? Because on Fridays, I have 3, yes, I said 3. It's a lot for a traveling science teacher, for any type of traveling instructor. And when I say travel, I'm talking about going from school to school. We are not based in one specific school. We do not travel like across states. In fact, all of our contracts this particular year are in the same borough. Furthermore, we're in the same area. We're in the same neighborhood. Most of the contracts are in Harlem. And so my point is I'm coming from a traveling science teacher location. And some of you may be wondering, I was even having a conversation with a cabbie yesterday. And I was talking to him about how I go around and I teach science. And I provide science instruction and or enhance the science instruction at various locations, because the majority of schools in New York City do not have science happening on the level that it used to happen when we were kids, per se, right? So for those of us who are Gen Xers, hi, we sometimes have kind of a different perspective and a different understanding of what science instruction is happening in our public schools. And not only just public schools, private schools. I've been in and out of multiple private schools where I was the only science offering they had. And not to say that the classroom teachers weren't attempting some form of science, but as far as having science every day, no, that is just not what's happening at most kids' schools. And so here's the first tip, because I always like to make sure that I do tips in my videos. My major tip for parents: ask, how frequently will my child have science? Next question: where is the science teacher a push-in instructor? Is that teacher on site? Or is that teacher going to come in like me? I come in, I'm a teaching scientist. I'm a person with a very strong science background and 20 plus years of experience working with youth in the community, as well as Triple F Empowerment Inc. has been in existence since 2012. And so we've been doing this for a significant amount of time, right? So well over a decade. And of course, I've got 2 decades under my belt when it comes to being a youth development person in the Harlem community specifically. So going back to what does it look like and how does your support help us? Traveling science teacher is a major need all around the country, but specifically in this neighborhood. Traveling science teacher is absolutely needed because schools, for various reasons that I'm not going to get into on this video, are in need of someone who's going to come in and provide quality. And when I say quality, not only standards-based, but industry-based. So the thing that they get with linking up with Traveling Science Teacher through Triple F Empowerment Inc., schools are getting someone who worked in labs, who has a STEAM degree, my degree is a biochemistry degree, and who can say, oh, not only can I match up standards and look at the New York State education standards for science, but I can also communicate, I know what I needed to be able to physically do as a laboratory scientist. And I worked in 3 different industries before I opened, before I started working in the nonprofit sector here in Harlem, and before I started Ms. Steph Science Club. And so I was a bench chemist for pharmaceutical, for environmental, and for a plastics company. So I have a broad range of understanding of what it means to write lab reports, what it means to do testing based off of SOPs, standard operating procedures. All those things come with me, right? In addition to my 20 years of experience here in Harlem, you're also getting another, what is it? I graduated in 2003. I'm really telling you now my business and my age now. You're also getting another, not as a you're also getting another 6 years of experience. I'm pausing because I want to make sure I cross the street safely, because y'all know that's one of our, maybe you don't know, but respect, safety, learning, and fun are our 4 science club values. And so safety is one of my core values as far as how we manage our programming, how we treat people, and how I navigate the world. So, cross the street now I can focus back on y'all. So that being said, when someone invests in us, you're investing in children getting that experience level in their science classroom, which is a lot, which is significantly more than what most children are getting. One statistic that I'll drop, and then I'm going to get off this live, because I'm walking and talking because I am out and about, and I've got my 3 sites that I have to get to, and 2 of those sites actually have 2. The next 2 sites, I just came from one, and I had 1 class there, but the next 2 sites that I go to will have 2 classes at each location, and they're pretty back to back. I have a bit of a break now, but once I go to the next place, I will then quickly need to teach those classes, turn the room, do what I need to do, and get myself over to the next site. So yeah, the statistic I want to remind you of, it is on our website. 48% of young people are reporting that they're getting less than 40 minutes of hands-on science a week. And when I drop that statistic, I really want you to understand that when I say 40 minutes a week, that means that in comparison to the amount of English language arts and math instruction children are getting in a day, do you understand? Kids are on average get about 2 hours a day of each of those 2 subjects. So on average, kids are getting a 1/5 of what's given to the other core subjects a week. Meanwhile, they get a good 2 hours or so of instruction on those core subjects a day. And that's the average. It's not okay. So that being said, that's why we do what we do. That's why we are needed. That's why your support comes so strategic, becomes so important, because there are schools that cannot afford to bring us in, and we're not able to provide the service for free. And so that's where you come in to bring support. You can come alongside and underwrite early childhood STEAM for a center for a month with $1,600. That's what that number is. Schools just don't have that. All right, it's been real, it's been fun. I will check y'all later and touch base with you at another time. Have an absolutely wonderful day.